This is Tank's Vlog for November 4th, 2017, wrapping up the day in sports. As November begins, college football gets thrown into high gear. This week saw the first releasing of the official top 25 for the college football playoff. And Notre Dame got banged up a little bit. Brandon Wedenbush missed a couple of plays here and there. Josh Adams missed the entire second half. But the Irish continue to roll, 48-37. They allowed a little too many points for my comfort, personally. But heading into a big game next week in Miami, the Irish are still rolling at number 3 with a 48-37 win over Wake Forest. Meanwhile, the two top teams, the two big boys, if you will, from the SEC, Georgia beat South Carolina 24-10, and Alabama with their own 24-10 win over LSU. So 1 and 2 played exactly the same game, pretty much. In fact, if the scores are almost the same, 7-7, 7-3. It is like they played identical games. That SEC championship game this year is going to be one of the greatest conference championship games of all time. It's possible that the loser still gets in the college football playoff, but if they don't, it could be like an extra playoff game. Clemson, they're back on track. Nice 38-31 win over North Carolina State on the road. In Bedlam, an elimination game, if you will, Oklahoma outgunned Oklahoma State 62-52. Baker Mayfield stamped his name on top of the Heisman Trophy list with 598 yards passing, accounting for 6 touchdowns, 5 in the air, 1 on the ground. Meanwhile, Ohio State got the big deflate as they got crushed by Iowa, 55-24. After a great fourth quarter last week, JT Big Game Barrett was back, throwing 4 costly interceptions, starting with the first play from scrimmage, a pick 6 that set the tone for the day for the Buckeyes. Meanwhile, Penn State dropped their second straight. Big weather delay, 3.5 hours. It's like the United could never get on track in East Lansing. They had a 14-7 lead after the first quarter, but the weather delay just seemed to just deflate the Lions as Michigan State won on a last-second field goal. Saquon Barkley, only 63 yards rushing. His Heisman Trophy chances have taken a huge hit. Number 8, TCU beat Texas 24-7. Wisconsin remains unbeaten, beating up Indiana 45-17. A lot of people didn't look at Miami as being that serious. They were undefeated, but after some lackadaisical efforts, they put the hammer down on Virginia Tech 28-10. Washington, they're now all of a sudden a player again after a 38-3 win over Oregon. Auburn beat Texas. Iowa State's big run came to an end with a 2016 loss against West Virginia. Mississippi State beat UMass. USC is now in the driver's seat to win the South Division in the Pac-12 after a beatdown of Arizona 49-35. Central Florida quietly remains unbeaten in the American Conference, tripping up SMU 31-24, while Washington State prevented themselves from falling out of the top 25 with a 24-21 win over Stanford. A quick look at the NHL. Rangers, they're starting to get their act together. They're now only 6-7-2. Vegas Golden Knights Nice win today over the Ottawa Senators on the road. And Capitals beat the Bruins. Lightning beat the Blue Jackets. Blues beat the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs have a very good, young, talented team, but until they find a goalie, they're not going to be a serious cup contender. Max Pacioretty helped the Canadiens beat the Jets. The Stars beat the Sabres. The Avalanche beat the Flyers. The Blackhawks blanked the Wild. The Wild still haven't gotten it going. Arizona Coyotes got their second win of the year, beating the Hurricanes 2-1 at home. Predators down the Kings. Canucks stunned the Penguins 4-2, and the Sharks beat the Ducks. NBA very limited action. Pistons beat the Kings. Pelicans beat the Bulls. Warriors beat the Nuggets. All of a sudden, the Warriors are crushing everyone again. So anyone that was concerned about their slow start, that's all gone. And meanwhile, it was the Timberwolves over the Dallas Mavericks. At 1-10, the Dallas Mavericks are the first team officially eliminated from the NBA playoff picture. Today's three stars are Baker Mayfield of the Sooners, Brock Boeser of the Canucks, and Luke Falk of Washington State. We give a birthday shout out to Bill Walton, who turned 65. And we take a look back at George Foreman becoming the heavyweight champion of the world by stunning Michael Moore. Now it's time for our NFL preview for Sunday, Week 9 in the league where they play for pay. Jets played on Thursday, but everyone's getting a kick out of Jets Dance to Anything on Twitter. You got to check that out. And you could just picture the Jets dancing around as I go over my picks. You got the Falcons playing the Panthers. I don't like how Cam Newton's looking. I think the Falcons are about to get on track. I think the Falcons win this game. The Falcons have pretty much clobbered the Panthers in the last few times they played. I went to press for my picks before Deshaun Watson's injury. I picked the Texans in 13. That's obviously not going to happen now. I don't know if they'll beat the Colts at all. But I picked the Texans to win that game big before Deshaun Watson's injury. I think the Jaguars will edge the Bengals. I think the Saints will sink the Bucks. I think the Rams will roll over the Giants. I like the Eagles over the Broncos. I like the Titans over the Ravens. I think the 49ers, even though Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to play, I think they get the win over the Cardinals at home. Cardinals are in a bad situation themselves. Broken arm, Carson Palmer. They don't have a good quarterback situation. I like the Seahawks over the Redskins. I think the Chiefs beat the Cowboys, even though Ezekiel Elliott's going to play now. As this never-ending saga is going to happen until the NFL realizes to get the discipline out of Goodell's hands, this mess is going to keep happening. The NFL needs a neutral party to give out discipline because Goodell is not trusted, and now he's not even being trusted by owners. It is time for Roger Goodell to go. Sunday night, watch the Dolphins get shut out. Jay Fiedler starting. The nightmare continues. And on Monday night, the Packers will find a way to beat the Lions because they always beat the Lions at Lambeau Field. That's the sports wrap-up for November 4th. Our NFL preview is brought to you by MyBookieAG. So if you want to get on the action, go to MyBookieAG. Fast 48-hour payouts. Go check it out now. and have a good day.